Like nickel is an interesting one because we're focused on our nickel project at the moment. It's something that I've been following for most of my career, actually. We're up on what we call the Bangemall. It's the bit between the Pilbara and the Yilgarn. It's the Craton margin between those two big blocks. And we're looking for style Ni-Cu-Co-PGEs, right? So there's basically three types of nickel deposits. There's your laterites, which is your stuff that comes out of Indonesia and in the old days came out of New Caledonia, those places. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about them at the moment. And then there's basically your two sulfide types. There's your komatiites, so that's Ledgton Keys Kambalda, pretty small, but high grade and can be valuable, but quite small. And then there's what we call the mafic intrusion-hosted deposits. These are the giants. These are Voisey Bay, Jinchuan, Nebo Babel in the West Musgraves, Nova, and the big mother of them all is Norilsk in Siberia. And Norilsk is huge. Norilsk is not only the biggest nickel deposit in the world, it's actually one of the biggest and most valuable metal deposits in the world. Right. And that's what we're looking for in the Bangemall. Now, this is our super high risk, super high reward thing. Those things are very valuable. Nebo Babel and I think Nova is the only nickel deposit making money in Australia at the moment. And that is important to realise that. This is this mafic intrusion hosted style of mineralisation. And they make money at pretty much any nickel price. They're always at the bottom of the cost curve. And in fact, they have negative costs, because they have credits from copper and cobalt and PGEs and stuff as well, right? So that's what we're looking for up there. The basic model is you have mafic magma, comes up a big fault, that's your plumbing system. It goes through some sort of rock type that's got sulfur in it. In our case, it's pyritic siltstones and evaporites and stuff in the Bangemall Basin. In Voisey Bay and at Nova, it goes through other rocks that have got sulfur in them. But the idea is that you've got nickel and copper and PGEs at low levels, in our case, a dolerite, and then it mixes with the sediments that have got sulfur, and the nickel and copper and PGEs and the sulfur get together and then drop out as sulfides. It's a high-risk play, but all the ingredients are there. It's not just me that says that. GSWA say that there should be Norilsk-style deposits there. Geoscience Australia had it as one of their key targets when they did their nickel atlas, which is the atlas that Chalice used to find Julimar. And CSIRO have said there should be a Norilsk there as well. The key is that the dolerites that we're looking at, they're part of this big thing called the Warrakurna Large Igneous Province, which is like the Siberian traps where Norilsk is. It's this humongous province that runs from central Australia right out to Onslow. And those dolerites, they're called the Kolkatharra dolerites, they're the same age as Nebo Babel. They're the same age as the Giles complex, which hosts Nebo Babel. So we're on the end of this province. And no one has looked for, I won't say no one, a couple of people have been out there and taken a few samples, but no one has drilled or done any systematic exploration for that style of deposit in the Bangemall. So we're just about to get out there. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to drill our first drill program out there. It's taken basically about 4 years to get to this point. We've got EIS funding from the government because it's basically their idea, a lot of their data that we've used. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm really excited, but I'm also pretty nervous about it because I know that it's such a high risk thing. But all the ingredients are there. We just need a bit of luck.
Yep, that's mineral exploration, full stop.
Yeah, all the ingredients there is a good idea. People think that it should be there. We've done the work to get us to the drill pad now. We've done airborne EM, which showed up a whole heap of conductors. We've done ground EM, which confirms conductors. We've done a bit of lithogeochemistry, which means basically taking rock chip samples and analysing them, then looking at different patterns and comparing them with published information. Yep. And that looks promising. The key that's missing at the moment is nickel or copper sulfides.
Okay.
That's what's missing. If we find nickel or copper sulfides, it proves the concept. That's like the missing piece of the puzzle at the moment.